Airline Manager for seat configuration. Go to your fleet, look up a plane, hit seat layout. In my opinion, you want to have as many seats in the higher class as possible. And the reason why is because you make a little bit more money. If you take this number and triple it, this is probably greater. If you take this number and double it, this is probably greater. So if you take this and double it, it would be 15,300, and over here it's 15,600. So you make more money with the mid class, and you make more money with the first class or business class, F, J, and Y. So at first you might start out with this class. You're going to want to fly as many of the first class as possible. I usually take this number, cut it in half, and you can give a little more because you rarely run at 100% capacity. And then take this number and cut it in half. So this is around 200. I cut it in half and I added a little more. Now, according to the game, if it takes 12 hours, here it says it takes okay, I don't have the time. Let's say it's a 12-hour flight, 24 hours round trip. The demand is daily, but it does not replenish to the full amount every day. Which means if you put 197, which is the demand, you're going to have a lot of empty seats because it doesn't replenish. The game says it does, but in reality, it doesn't happen. So you lose a lot of money if you fly empty seats. So what I decided to do is I just cut it in half. I've had no problems with it for most aircraft. I'm talking about aircraft that flies long distance, at least 12 hours. Get as many of these as possible, and then as many of these. If you got to put in lots of coach or the Y class, then do it. Because it's better to sell a seat than have a first class go empty. So when I do the modification, let's see if we can get one here. Got to find one that's at the hub. For cargo, I do it a little bit differently. For cargo, what I do is I just cut it half and half. And then I use the same system. So what you're going to do over here, see this one has 400 and then 100. What that means is that this aircraft, I've got two aircraft flying to the same destination. One of them is flying first class passengers, and the other one is flying economy class passengers, maxing it out. So this is how you adjust the seat configuration. If you don't know what to do, put it kind of like this. And that's it. What I do when I book a flight is I put 50, and then I put 50 when I get a new plane. And this is kind of a good number, 50, 50, and then whatever over here. It opens up a lot of options. You're going to have some destinations that are only going to be 21st class and 20 whatever. You're going to have to make those exceptions. You don't want to fly to those hubs. You want to fly to the ones where you can put all first class. In this case, it's 200 passengers, depending on what plane you fly. You're not going to find a lot of destinations that can handle 200 first class. For, let's say, 90, you're going to find a lot of choices. So this is going to be a common configuration, around 90 here and the remainder here. And that's how you do it. For cargo, it's going to be a little bit different. If you don't know what to do, just do half and half. But over here, what I did was I check both airports and I do a ratio. This looks like a 3-to-2 ratio. 60 plus 60 is 120, plus 60 is 180. And this over here, you see it's 6-to-4, which is 3-to-2. It's the same thing. So I matched the ratio. This aircraft is going to go to the destination and come back. The demand usually doesn't update properly. You can see when it does. Here's an example of when the demand may not have updated, and maybe the plane didn't fly to full capacity. It happens. This is probably marketing. But if you look through and you see a lot of gaps, you see a lot of the numbers are similar, 3.5 million. If you see numbers up and down, that means your configuration is wrong and it needs to be changed. You need to even it out a little bit. If you've got flights going out where you've got more passengers, you total up the numbers, and it's greater than the demand, don't fly to those airports. There's going to be some airports where you got too many passengers going in, fly somewhere else. It's better to have somebody in a seat than nobody. And unfortunately, there are some airports that don't have a lot of demand. Okay, so that's how you do the seat configuration. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.